Beautiful morning to you and welcome to the newspaper review segment right here at Prime Media TV. I am Ayo bringing you the newspaper review for today, and as always, I have quite a number of headlines to be reviewed with you today. First of which is Dangote Refinery's caught fire yesterday. So, as of yesterday, a section of the 650,000 capacity Dangote Petroleum Refinery caught fire, sparking reactions on social media as videos of the incident went viral. But the management of the facility, however, has allayed fears about the incident, and they state that the situation has been put under control, adding that no one was harmed by the fire outbreak. At the same time, the LCCCI charged the federal government to prevent any form of blackmail and victimization of the IOC and local refiners by quickly resolving the issues around oil supply contracts, higher crude costs in Nigeria, both international prices, and hoping that this will not affect the production currently ongoing at the refinery, because according to Dangote, they said they will begin mass production as at July this year, which was later adjourned to August. We hope that this fire outbreak is not going to lead to further postponement of this of the mass production that the Dangote Refinery had said. At the same time, on updates on cholera outbreak in Nigeria, FG has started shopping for emergency vaccines. According to them, that there has been quite a number of cases of cholera in Nigeria right now, and it has spread up. It has spread to 32 states in Nigeria. About 100 local governments is now affected. So the federal government has initiated dialogue with Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization, that's the Gavi, to obtain emergency supplies of oral cholera vaccine, OCV, as Nigeria battles the disease amid a global shortage of the vaccine. And the first thing that comes to mind is that we've had cases of this. The case of this cholera outbreak has been ongoing since early June, and we hope that by now we shouldn't be doing emergency search for this vaccine. We hope that they would have swung into action as at then, but now they are seeking for emergency vaccine because 32 states and 115 local government areas of the federation is now affected. And according to them, they said as soon as they get this vaccine will be given out freely to at the what is it called, at the general hospitals. And obviously, if this gets out of hand, our general hospitals will be flooded. And it's also come back to taking proactive actions before all of these things became as it is now. Before it spread down to these 32 states in Nigeria, they ought to have foreseen all of these things happening and start planning ahead to how they are going to get these emergency vaccines. But we hope that people will not lose their lives even before these emergency vaccines will get into the country. So moving on to the next story here, we have that 2,600 people has been killed in Benue attack in 1 year. Yesterday, we took a story that in some local governments in Benue State, some bandits are making demand for 20 million naira from the occupants of these communities, that they should pay a ransom of 20 million naira if they don't want their community to be invaded. And this community said they've spread out this money across all the occupants of the community to 50. Each household is expected to pay 50,000 naira for ransom, not ransom that their children was kidnapped, not ransom that somebody was kidnapped and the person is about to be released. This ransom was so that these bandits would not invade their community. And part of the main thing that we look at is the audacity that these bandits has to come into the community to warn the occupants of the community that they would that they would invade their communities if they don't pay ransom. This is a community where their local government chairman, this is a community where their state police, this is a community where their local police, and they dare not, according to source, they said they cannot even, they dare not talk to the police about it. But the question is, if they can't talk to the police about it, how come they could talk to newsmen about this? And the first thing, some of the things that we consider is that, at least now that it is now on the media, what has the state police done to this? Would they allow these people to pay this ransom just so their community would not be invaded? Or it is high time the police swing into action? And another thing to consider is that if the bandits could have the audacity to come into the community and say, you have to pay ransom, if you don't pay ransom, we'll invade your community, it means that these bandits have the support of powerful people in the state, because this is the food basket of the state. This is the state where we there was a time we took a story, I think around last week, where a story came out that the IDP camps in Benue State is not even enough to cater for these people. The government promised them that they would ensure that they fight insecurity so that they would go back to their home, so that they would go back to farming. Nothing has been done on that case. And again, this bandit has come out again to threaten these people that if they do not pay 20 million naira as ransom, they would invade the community. So it leads us to say that there must be people who are giving these bandits upper hand in this community. A community as powerful, a state as powerful as Benue State should not be experiencing this. And for the fact that, let's say, the state can no longer handle this, then it is high time that it is high time the federal government intervene on this. But then a source has come out to give account of the issue of bandit attack since January 2023 till February 2024, and they say that 2,600 people has been killed in Benue State in 1 year. That's Amnesty International reported this, that these people were killed in 50 Benue communities between January 2023 to February 2024. And he said the Amnesty International Program Director Barbara Magaji disclosed this during a photo exhibition and news conference on Wednesday in Makurdi. Now, imagine the total number of people that has died in just one community. Imagine the number that would come, and this is just the number they could count. Obviously, there are quite a number that the news cannot even cover. There are quite a number that they can't even give account to. So, should we allow this to continue in a community that is supposed to be the food basket of the nation, in a community that is supposed to be engaging in mass production of food that will sustain the community and can even help sustain the state and can even go around to other states in the country to the point of even exporting the food outside of the country? Should we allow this to continue in the country? And the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, amid the renewed hope agenda he has been clamoring for, part of the many things he said he would put an end to is that this administration would put an end to insecurity. And we've not seen the measures that he's putting in place to ensure that insecurity is curbed. Just imagine, within the space of a year, we have the death count of 2,600 people. What do you think would happen at the end of this, at the end of the year, at the end of another year? Measures need to be put in place. Then, if measures are not put in place, if the federal government do not intervene in what is currently happening in Benue State, then it is high time we conclude that there are people that the state government and the federal government is afraid of. That is why they haven't launched attack against this banditry in our northern states. And the story we took yesterday, so the chairman of that particular local government in Benue State, where they are demanding for 20 million naira ransom, he said there is a particular bandit that they know has been attacking them for back to back for the past 5 years, whose name is Full Fire. They said he lives at the outskirts of the community. This means that these people have access to these people. They know where he lives. So how come they haven't launched attack against him? How come his house has not been invaded? How come he has not been arrested? He's still moving freely. The people are afraid of him. So that means there's somebody in government that is giving these people upper hand for them to be moving freely in a community like that. So if they do not have upper hand, then the federal government should do the needful in this community. Then moving on to our last story on this segment, we have that the Pro Wike attack. Rivers crisis, the Pro Wike protesters attempted to bomb hotel in Port Harcourt. So very quickly, let's look at the highlights of the story. Governor Sim Fubara of Rivers State has alleged that the failed attempt to detonate an explosive device at the Hotel Presidential, a five-star hotel in Port Harcourt, was a deliberate ploy to strengthen the call for a state of emergency by haters who want to undermine the state to achieve their evil plan. So back to back past since the past 2 weeks now, there has been quite a number of issues in Rivers State. First, it started with the issue of chairmen whose tenure expired and they refused to leave the office, and we had the Fubara supporters chasing this chairman out so that the caretaker chairman could take position, and then the police prevented even the caretaker chairman from assessing the local government or the local government, and in lieu to that, we see that there are quite a number of issues that are surfaced in River State. Some persons are saying it is on godfatherism to come to an end in River State, so Sim Fubara can be allowed to govern the state. And then just yesterday, we heard that there was a ploy to detonate a bomb at the presidential hotel in River State, and the man who made this attempt to detonate this bomb has been arrested. And here is Sim Fubara saying that they are attributing it to the Pro Wike supporters, that they are the one that is making attempts so that to detonate these bombs just so they can declare a state of emergency in the state. And what we are just going to say to this is that I think they should make their findings properly before they attribute this bombing attack to Wike. You know, when issues like that, we have always said that when the two elephants in River State, as they are fighting, the one who gets the blame, the one who is affected the most are the people of River State. So they should make their proper findings before they attribute this bombing attack to the Pro Wikis. And I think, again, we should say that it is high time that there is need for an external intervention over this case that is currently ongoing in River State before it becomes a thing where they declare a state of emergency. And when a state of emergency is declared, it means that the sitting governor cannot do anything again in the country, which will lead to an external intervention from Mr. President. Before it gets to it, the necessary bodies that should intervene in this case should start intervening in this case. So before it become, before we know it, we begin to see that all that Sim Fubara's administration will do in his 4 years in office is to be fighting back and forth on who will lead and who will not lead. So as issues unfold as issue unfold on all of the story we have taken, we would give our audience updates on them. So on this note, we'll be ending the newspaper review segment here at Prime Media TV. We'll be going into another conversation now. We'd like that you stay tuned with us. As soon as we get back, we'll dive into another conversation. Please stay with us.